Go. Let's go to Chicago and check in. Again, we have live quotes from all of our traders along right at the edge of that floor. Tim Evans doing the honors now. Tim from Longleaf Trading. Tim, hope you had a good weekend, first of all.
I did. Thanks, Mark.
Good. All right. Numbers that on paper, as I mentioned, should be a little supportive to this trade. Corn, for one, leading right there. It hasn't really made a difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, I mean, we came into today, I mean, the outside market environment tone was pretty positive, and we saw some markets drafting off of that early, primarily beans, but, a week into some pretty dry, warmer temperatures, allowed farmers to really make a lot of progress in the fields, and, that really kind of set the tone for corn today, and has remained that way here up until the time we're speaking.
Exactly. Now to the south of you, though, looking at it may be sunny today, but they're looking for more rain coming your way, and the south again into the southern, where we don't need that rain in the central and parts of the eastern belt. Trade doesn't, the corn trade anyway, doesn't appear to be too concerned about that.
Well, I think ultimately it will. I mean, southern Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, obviously, took the brunt of those storms we had. Weather models are showing the 11 to 15-day forecast showing that there could be some heavier, consistent rainfall in those areas. Obviously the delays and replanting concerns were there, and that's definitely going to aggravate this situation. And I'd imagine that will be market focus here toward the end of this week.
Very good. And so we look at the corn futures at the moment right now. Give those updates here. Still down 2.5. Soybeans higher last look. Beans still higher by a couple of cents here. But I get your thoughts on wheat before we have to take a break in here, because we're down a dime. In fact, 11 lower now for the Chicago wheat, and lows of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I really think, same situation. The warmer weather's over the weekend. With all the rainfall that we got, there was a lot of concern, about crop damage, possible disease. There didn't seem to be. I saw some private estimates or guesses in terms of what kind of damage occurred, and I didn't see a lot of evidence of that yet, but that concern still remains there. So, I mean, it looks like the market's trading what we know now and going to deal with what we're going to figure out later, because the same situation. I mean, the heavier, consistent rainfalls in that forecast, could become very problematic, for those more sensitive areas.
Very good. Thanks for all the input there in the grain trade. Tim Evans joining us live from the floor of Chicago CME Group. He'll be back, and we'll take a look at the livestock trade here as we continue on this Monday. Be right back.
At BASF, we know one thing is certain. When you're the inventors of dicamba, you don't advance it by just dropping in an additive. You wipe the slate clean and rebuild a better dicamba from the ground up. Presenting Engenia herbicide, the most flexible and advanced dicamba for dicamba-tolerant soybeans and cotton. It's pure genius.
Rural Radio Channel 147 on Sirius XM has the news and stories grounded in the way rural America lives. We know you're busy in the field. We can go there with you and keep you informed with the latest news, information, and weather on Market Day Report every weekday. To learn more about subscribing, go to ruralradio147.com.
This portion of the Market Day Report is brought to you by Agro-Liquid Fertilizer, committed to industry leadership and principles and practices of responsible nutrient management.
And we take a look at the livestock trade here. It gives me coming back in here showing the mixed trade in the beef cutout, and actually a mixed trade in the pork cutout here as well. Let's go back to Chicago. Tim Evans at the edge of that floor and look at live cattle futures first of all, and your thoughts here. We're now mid-May.
Well, I mean, I think what the market's really trying to figure out is, what consumer behavior is going to be, given these much higher level cash prices that have developed in the cattle space. I mean, if you kind of look at box values as of last week, I mean, they were up 83 cents to a little over 247. I mean, that's the highest levels we've seen since July of 2015.
Yeah.
So I think we're trying to figure out if consumers are going to be sensitive to that and obviously looking to buy alternative products. And I'd imagine the results when we see reports of the results over the Mother's Day weekend, I think that'll most likely have an impact and kind of reinforce some of those ideas.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know there were long lines at a lot of restaurants in our area over the weekend, yesterday, and barbecue places. Doesn't matter what, you just pick one. You're looking at an hour or so. So, again, hopefully good weather there. And then Memorial Weekend, a couple of weeks now, will also be, I would think, give us an indication of what consumers will or won't. They want to push back a little bit here at the retail counter.
Yeah, I know my little internal research I did over the weekend. I mean, if you were looking to grill out for Mother's Day weekend and you happen to pop open the papers looking for good deals on beef, there were none to be found.
Then we're doing the pork side. I'll get the numbers, by the way, those of you tuning in on the radio especially. I'll get the numbers on the future. I want to get Tim Evans joining us to get his thoughts in the pork complex here. Last looked a little bit higher here, 20, 30, 40 points. Talk about that hog complex.
Well, I think the one most interesting development is that wide basis we were looking at, which I felt, over the last week or so was kind of concerning. But as these cash prices have continued to advance at a rapid pace, that's closed that basis, which I think is healthy for the bulls here in the intermediate term. The CME lean index last week was actually up 11%. So we're seeing good, strong advances in cash prices. My assumption is there's room for pork products to run, given the rapid advancement we've had in cash prices on the beef market.
Very good, Tim. Thanks for the time. I'm going to, as promised, give the numbers to our viewers and listeners, and we'll let you go. I know your phone's probably keeping the ringing this morning here, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Mark. Have a good day.
Thank you, too. Tim Evans, Longleaf Trading. He's the owner of Longleaf Trading there live from Chicago. All right.